Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Axe Japan and welcome to another top 5 video. This time we're finally checking out my top 5 Japanese male guitarists. So I can't actually believe it's taken this long to do this video. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. But I've been putting it off because it's just so difficult. I think this is even more difficult than the female list. And if you haven't checked out that top 5 Japanese female guitarist video, please do. I posted it last week, so it should be the one before this one. And that was actually an updated video. The original was done about 3 years ago, very close to when I started the channel, so feel free to check that one out too. I know I'm not going to please everyone with this list. Again, I'll say, like I did with the top female guitarists, these are just my personal favorite guitarists. I'm no way saying that these are the best. There might be guitarists in this list that you don't even rate like as good guitarists at all. It's just your own opinion and this is mine. So please just keep that in mind when you're about to comment, just telling me off for not including your favorite guitarist. Okay, so without any further ado, let's just dive into the top 5. Go! Okay, so coming in number 5, anyone that knows me knows that I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan. So I basically picked the Japanese Tony Iommi. So here we go, this is number 5.
Shinji です。
Okay, that was number 5. That was Shinji Wojima from the band Ningen Isu. I've been a fan of Ningen for so long now, and yeah, I just absolutely love Shinji's guitar playing. He's so cool, and I jokingly compared him to Tony Iommi. He plays an SG, they play Doom, style stuff, very kind of 70s sounding stuff, but he's in a league of his own. You can make comparisons to other people, but when you listen to Shinji play, you just know that it's him playing. He really takes a lot of influences from, the classic players. Jimmy Page, I hear. Tony Iommi, I hear. He puts his own really unique twist on things and also incorporates a lot of traditional Japanese stuff in there. Scales, like the Wo scale and stuff like that, just to make it fit the band a bit more. Obviously, they have the whole traditional Japanese vibe going on, aesthetically as well as musically. So it makes sense for him to do that, and it's just I find it genius. Plus the fact that he's just absolutely having a ball on stage, and even at the age he is at this time, he's 56, which is awesome. They started that band in like 87, so yeah, they've been going a long time. I think they've got even more popular now as they've got older. It's just cool to see just like a kind of rocking granddad up there, just like giving it. But the guy is so knowledgeable about guitars and effects pedals and stuff. He builds his own effects. He has such an amazing tone. He's pairing an SG with a Marshall, so it's Gibson and Marshall. You can't go wrong. He says to get the best sound from a Marshall, it has to be on 10. You have to turn up to 10, which is just crazy. He's using like a 100-watt head. Like, how is he not deaf? Oh well, it works for him. So yeah, I think just all those years of experience, he's just developed like such an amazing ear for tone, and you can hear it. Their stuff sounds absolutely amazing, especially the guitar. Just to sum up, I really absolutely love Shinji's playing. It's so much fun. It just reminds me of just all the 70s guitarists that I love, plus the Japanese twist. So yeah, it's just, he had to be in the top 5. Okay, moving on to number 4. This is someone who I've probably followed the longest out of everyone in this list. He was in one of the first bands that I ever discovered when I got into the whole Japanese music scene. Every time I see him play, he just blows my mind, and yeah, he's just absolutely phenomenal. So here we go. This is number 4.
こんにちは、ブラッド・ステインチャイルドのリュウです。今日は話題のこの人。
There we go, that was number 4. That was Ryu from the bands Bloodstained Child, Yuzu Kingdom, and Dual Alter World. So I've been a huge fan of Bloodstained Child from way back. Since then, I've discovered his other projects. The guy writes a lot of music. It's really, really impressive. What I love about Ryu's playing is not so much, I mean, I do really like his lead playing. I think the stuff he does lead-wise, I don't hear anyone else do, especially his tapping style. Like he's got such a unique tapping style, and it's so fluid and so effortless. Like his legato into tapping is just like on another level. He does it all with his index finger. Most people, when they tap, they hold the pick between their thumb and their index, and they tap with their middle finger. But what he does is he slides the pick up his finger, so he holds it there like with his thumb, and then he can use his index finger and then just slides it back, which I've tried to do, and that is not easy. The pick just falls on the floor like half the time. But I think what I admire most about Ryu's playing is his riff writing and songwriting in general. He has a really amazing ear for like orchestral arrangements, all the synthy stuff that is in Bloodstained Child as well. That's all him. And again, it's just unmistakable when you hear like his riffs and his playing. And this is actually a guitarist that I feel that people are not going to be happy that he's on the list, because 1, you probably don't know who he is if you don't like that kind of style of music. 2, his lead playing, you know, can get a bit similar sometimes. But again, I'm not really basing this off of just lead playing. You know, I'm basing this off just songwriting, riff writing, and the amount of work that he's done and the amount of music that he's done that I absolutely love, which is just all based around guitar. And, you know, just if it wasn't for the guitar, you know, the songs wouldn't be anything at all. I've actually met Ryu in person. Bloodstained Child played the Metal Matsuri Festival end of 2019. So I met him at the meet and greet. I was really happy to meet him there. And just a quick funny story, when Lady Beard was doing his DJ set, he played a Bloodstained Child song, and I looked around at their table and they were all going crazy. You know, we were all kind of dancing at the front and stuff, and then like I just looked to my left and like Ryu's just standing like next to me, just like, you know, rocking away as well. So I gave him the horns, and he gave me the horns back, and you know, he was really happy. So that was a really cool moment. So if you're not familiar with Ryu and Bloodstained Child, please check them out. Bloodstained Child have gone through a lot of lineup changes, especially with the vocals. So they do have a lot of stuff with female vocals, but they also have a lot of stuff with male vocals too. But if you're into the more female vocal stuff, the Dual Alter World project, as well as Yuzu Kingdom, might be more up your street. I'll link some videos down below so you can go check them out. So there we go. That was my number 4 pick, Ryu. Okay, so now we're into the top 3, and just before we get into the top 3, I just want to say that I feel that this top 3 are pretty much on par in terms of technicality. I feel like they're that good that like not one of them could not play something that the other one could play. If that makes any sense. They can do it all. These guys are actually gods on guitar. It's as simple as that. So really all I can base this top three of is just my, again, like I said, it's just my personal preference. But this really doesn't have anything to do with technical ability at this point, because they're just all, they can just play anything. So it really just comes down to what they are actually playing and their creativity. And I don't think people would be too surprised by this top three, but they might be surprised with the order. So we'll see. Son! Okay, so coming in at number 3, we have an absolutely phenomenal guitarist who takes care of the power metal side of things. So here we go. This is number 3.
ガルネリウスの週でございます。とうとう ESP のクライング V がですね、発売になります。お店に並んだ時はぜひ弾いてみてください。
Okay, that was my number 3 pick, See You from Guitarists, as well as his own solo projects. So as you can hear, See You is just like up there on another level. But what I absolutely love about See You's playing is he has a lot of emotion in the playing, so much melody, so much feeling, and I really wanted to include that solo. I put in a tiny bit of the solo from the Brutal Spire of Emotions. The solo for that is one of my favorite guitar solos of all time. So much feeling in that solo, and you can tell, especially when you see him play live, it's just like you can just feel that it's all coming from like the heart. He also uses his index finger for tapping. He doesn't actually do what Ryu does, slide the pick up and hold it there with his thumb. He basically just like holds it like in his palm, like with his middle finger, which is another crazy way of doing it, but he just does it so effortlessly. Again, the sheer volume of work that Siu's created over the years is just crazy, and like I absolutely love his 2 solo albums as well. Really, you should check them out if you're a guitarist and you're into just metal in general. Those 2 solo albums are you're gonna like them, I promise. Guitarists might not be for everyone. Again, it just comes down to taste, but to me, he's a really special guitarist, and yeah, he really deserves to be in the top. Yeah, it's a well-deserved top 3 spot for See You. Okay, so coming in at number 2 is a guitarist that was actually my number 1 for quite a while. When I heard this guy play, I didn't actually realize that people could play like this, and it just kind of blew my mind. So here we go. This is number 2.
All the way from Osaka, Japan, a missionary street fighter, sex machine, Takayoshi Omura!
So there we go. That was number 2. That was Takayoshi Omura, the one and only. So I actually knew about Takayoshi even before he joined Baby Metal. But I hadn't really listened to a whole lot of stuff. I think the band he was in, he played with Liv Moon and Crosshard, I think it was the name of one of the bands that he was in. I think I heard a few things, but yeah, nothing. I didn't really dive into the stuff. It was only after Baby Metal that I really started listening to the stuff he was doing and found his solo stuff. I mean, what can you say about Omura? It's just his style, his like attack of the guitar. You know, I mentioned this in the top female videos, but I really love guitarists that attack the guitar, you know, hard. Zakk Wylde's another favorite of mine. But yeah, Takayoshi really attacks the guitar, but he can just play so fast. It's ridiculous. And like all his notes are so clean. He's like one of the cleanest guitar players I've ever heard in my life, and also one of the fastest. You can literally hear every note that he picks. It's phenomenal. And his picking technique in itself is really unique because he does this kind of circular picking thing. You can't really see his hand move at all. It doesn't look like anything's happening, but he's playing it like a million miles an hour. And that's just because most of the motion that the pick's going through is you know, from his fingers. But as well as being, you know, such a technical, phenomenal player, you know, he writes some really badass songs. And yeah, I really love all the solo stuff he's done. He's a really creative guy. And unfortunately, I still haven't heard his latest solo album because you just cannot get hold of it anywhere. You know, when I've got an extra £50 to spend, I'll maybe try and get the Japanese import. But yeah, as it stands, I haven't heard it. But I still listen to the first 2 all the time. He's also written one of my favorite guitar solos, probably actually is my favorite guitar solo of all time, which is the guitar solo for When I Close My Eyes, which I did include there. Not a very good quality video I included there, but go check it out because that song is amazing, and the guitar solo is too. I've been learning it for the past few years. There's this one bit that I still haven't quite got, so when I get it, I'll do a cover of it for sure. But Takayoshi's really inspirational to me. You know, when I watch him play, I feel kind of soul destroyed that he's that good. But, you know, it makes me want to pick up the guitar and try my best. He was absolutely great in Baby Metal. I think he brought a lot to that project, personality and his playing solos and everything like that. You know, he definitely put his stamp on those first couple of albums. So yeah, if you're a fan of Baby Metal but aren't familiar with his solo stuff, then you can get that stuff on Spotify, as apart from the last one. But it's all there to listen to, and it's really awesome. It's cheesy, but you know, I like cheesy, and yeah, it's just super impressive. His solo composition again is just outstanding. Okay, so that was my number 2. That was Takayoshi Omura. Okay, so now we're down to my absolute number 1 favorite Japanese male guitar player. This guy, there's just no other word apart from just special, you know, just one of a kind. He's really inspirational, and yeah, whenever I hear him play, I instantly just pick up the guitar. It's just that's the effect that he has on me. So here we go. This is my number 1. There we go, guys. That was my number one pick. That was just, again, the one and only Mikio Fujioka. I mean, what can you say about Mikio's playing? It's just absolutely amazing. I just cannot believe sometimes when I'm watching videos of him play that is coming out of a human, that is coming out of a person. You know, it's just, again, you know, just waving technical ability aside, you really feel like it's an extension of him as a person. Just it's his soul coming out through the guitar. You can see it in his face, and you know, through his playing. It's just that amazing. I find it hard to find the words to kind of describe it. You know, you just watch him. Doesn't matter what kind of style he plays. You know, he'll do stuff that you've never seen before. Like in one of the clips that I just showed, when he's playing the clean guitar and he does the tapping, it sounds like there's 3 guitar players playing, and it's just him. I've watched that clip back like multiple times to try and like work out what he's doing. It's absolutely crazy. Sadly, Mikio is no longer with us. He died a few years ago. He was 36, which is just absolutely tragic. I couldn't believe it when I heard it. I was floored. His death, I think, hit me like even harder, just because of the fact that a friend of mine passed away. You know, this happened like just after Christmas. You know, it happened on December 30th, and I lost one of my best friends just before Christmas, a few years before that happened. So it just, and really crazily, like under very similar circumstances, it was, you know, from a fall. So yeah, just like when I heard about what happened, and you know, just kind of triggered all that back. So yeah, it really hit me pretty hard. The guy had so much more to do, you know, musically. You know, he was so young, and to be able to play like that, just, it's so sad. It's so sad. I still can't believe that happened. And you know, this is you know, he was one of the best guitar players in the world. And I mean, in my opinion, I mean, you can't argue with his technical ability. You know, it's just, you know, you can see by the clips that I just showed, if you're not familiar with him, you know, you can tell that there's not much better you can get in terms of technicality. It's just the way he can express, and you really feel that, you know, when he's improvising, that like every note he's playing is intentional. You know, sometimes when you improvise, you just noodle. You don't really know what's coming out. I feel like when he's playing, he can hear what's going to happen. You know, every note that he's playing, even though it's improvising, it's intentional, because he's thinking about what it's going to sound like, you know, the second before it happens, almost. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense, but it kind of does to me, and I just find it it's just mind-blowing. So, you know, I'm glad that we have so many, you know, moments caught on camera of him. He's always got a smile on his face when he plays. You can just tell how much he loves the guitar. You can tell it's probably what he spent like most of his time doing, and loved every minute of it. What's really cool as well is I love the fact that Takayoshi is now playing his signature ESPs, ones that he owned personally. And he even keeps a letter that his daughter wrote to him under the whammy bridge, you know, under the springs. He keeps the letter folded up and in there always. And he also keeps a cigarette of the brand that Mikio smoked, you know, stuck behind the headstock, so that it's there for any time he wants to come down and have a smoke with him. Oh, that's story is just like, it gets me. So yeah, I don't want to end on such a sad note, but I just want to celebrate just, you know, what Mikio has done. And you know, like I said, there's so much online to watch, and I sat down and watched his stuff, and it just, you know, I instantly grabbed the guitar because he's that inspirational to me. And I'm so happy and grateful that I got the chance to see him play in person from seeing Baby Metal live. So I can say that I got to see, you know, one of my guitar heroes in person. So there we go, guys. That was my top 5 Japanese male guitarists. I really hope you like this list. You know, as always, I really want to hear what you guys have to say about the list, and I want to see your guys' lists as well. And I just want to give a shout out to some honorable mentions, because I know some people will be pissed if I don't mention some other guitarists. So I really do love, you know, there's so many male guitarists that I love, but you know, again, I just had to make this list, you know, very personal to me. But Akira Takasaki from Loudness, I absolutely love his playing. People probably won't agree to put this guy in the list at all, but Kaz from Vamps, and also Oblivion Dust and Spin Aqua. He would be in my top 10 just because I love the sounds he gets out of the guitar, and also his songwriting. Just, you know, the textures he creates with guitars are just absolutely amazing. Hyde and Pata from X Japan, I know, are really highly rated as well, and they're absolutely amazing players. Keep in mind, guys, I do know, you know, a lot of these guitarists, but, you know, I just obviously couldn't fit them into my list. But, you know, feel free to give me your top list below. So that's it from me, guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Please check out the top 5 female list that I did last week if you haven't already. And I really look forward to reading all your comments, and I will try and reply to as many as I can. I got quite overwhelmed with the amount of comments for the last one, so I do apologize if you have written a comment I haven't got back to. I will when I find time. And I'll leave some links down below for the guitarists, so you can go find their stuff and check them out for yourself. Thank you so much again, guys. Please stay safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.
君と夏の終わり、将来の夢、大きな希望忘れない。10年後の8月、また出会えるの信じて、最高の